Today, we are going to unpack a really simple but incredibly powerful Japanese routine. It's designed to tackle one of the most frustrating sleep problems that, let's be honest, so many of us face.
You know the feeling, right? You get into bed, your body is just wiped, completely exhausted from the day, but your mind, it decides now is the perfect time to turn on. Suddenly, you're thinking about the emails you didn't answer, that awkward conversation you had, the entire to-do list for tomorrow. You're so tired, but you're just wired.
Now, you might just label this as insomnia or anxiety, but the real culprit is often something a lot more fundamental. And listen, it's not some kind of personal failing. It's actually a biological mismatch. Your body is just stuck in the wrong gear.
And that brings us to the bad guy in the story, the real reason for that tired but wired feeling. It's a hormone called cortisol. Basically, your body is stuck in daytime stress mode, right when it should be powering down for the night.
So what even is cortisol? Well, think of it like your body's built-in alarm system. And in the morning, it's fantastic. It's the juice that wakes you up, gets you focused, and makes you ready to tackle whatever the day throws at you. It's literally the hormone of alertness.
So let's look at how it's supposed to work. Ideally, your cortisol is high in the morning. That's what gets you out of bed. Then it's meant to taper off all day so that by the evening, it's low, signaling to your body that it's time to rest. But for so many of us, that evening drop just never happens. Our bodies stay on high alert, and we never get the memo that the day is actually over. And why is this happening? Well, our modern evenings are basically a minefield of cortisol triggers. I mean, think about it. The bright glare of your phone, endlessly scrolling through stressful news, that one last work email at 9 p.m. Each one of those things is like a little alarm telling your body, hey, danger, stay awake.
So how in the world do we fix this? Well, we can actually look to a culture that has been perfecting the art of winding down for centuries. This brings us to the Japanese approach, which is all about one thing: signaling safety to the body. And this right here, this is the absolute core of the whole philosophy. It's not about trying to force yourself to sleep with pills or gadgets. It's about creating an environment where your body finally feels safe enough to let its guard down. And when you do that, sleep isn't a chore, it's just the natural consequence.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Let's walk through 7 really specific practices. Think of each one as a tool to systematically dial down your cortisol and basically pave a smooth runway for deep, restorative sleep. First things first, it all starts with your last meal of the day. The very first practice is to finish dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before you even think about going to bed.
And why does this matter so much? Because digestion is hard work for your body. When you eat a big meal late at night, your body is still on the clock, working hard, which keeps your core temperature up. But when you finish early, your body finishes its work and your temperature starts to drop. And that drop, that is one of the most powerful sleep signals you can possibly send to your brain. All right, next up, a ritual that is basically non-negotiable in many Japanese households, the hot bath, or a fudo. And the key is to take it about 60 to 90 minutes before you want to be asleep. Now, here's the really cool, kind of counterintuitive science behind this. The magic isn't actually the relaxing heat of the bath itself. Nope. It's what happens the moment you get out. You step out of that hot water, and your core body temperature drops fast. That sudden change is the exact trigger your brain has been waiting for to ramp up melatonin and kick your natural sleep drive into high gear. This one is so simple, it's totally free, and it is incredibly effective. About 2 hours before bed, just kill the bright overhead lights. Switch over to warmer, softer lamps instead. Your brain literally interprets bright bluish light as daytime and that warm, dim light as evening. It adjusts your hormones accordingly, all on its own. Okay, let's talk about the big one, the biggest challenge for most of us, right? Screens. The idea here is to create a digital sunset. That means absolutely no screens for the final 60 minutes before you get into bed. Binge watching your favorite show or scrolling through social media, that's stimulation, not relaxation. So what could that final hour actually look like? Well, instead of that harsh blue light and an endless feed, it's about giving your brain a chance to decompress with something analog. It creates this nice, gentle off-ramp into sleep instead of just slamming on the brakes. Let's move on to a practice called yoru no sanbo, which just means night walk. Now, we're not talking about a workout here. This is a gentle 10 to 20-minute stroll after dinner. It's great for digestion, and that combination of gentle movement and cool night air is proven to lower cortisol.
So during that digital sunset hour, one of the best things you can do is pick up a physical book. And it's really important that it's a real book, not a Kindle or an iPad, because the whole point is to escape the light and the constant pings and notifications that come with our screens.
And get this, the data on this is just striking. Research shows that just 6 minutes of reading can reduce stress by over 60%. That's more effective than listening to music or even taking a walk. And why is that? Because it literally forces your mind to get out of its own anxious feedback loop and step into a completely different world.
And finally, we've come to what might be the most powerful practice of all. In Japan, this is related to the idea of kansha, or a deep sense of thankfulness. It's all about deliberately shifting your mental focus right before you drift off to sleep.
Look, this isn't about pretending everything in your life is perfect. It's much simpler than that. It's a neurological switch. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and digest system. And when you do that, your body is flooded with calming hormones, which literally push out the stressful ones.
So, as we start to wrap this up, let's just remember the main idea here. This whole routine, it's not about forcing sleep. It's about systematically removing all the roadblocks that are standing in its way.
And this is how it all fits together so beautifully. Each practice targets a different kind of stressor. The early dinner handles digestive stress. The hot bath manages temperature stress. Dimming the lights tackles visual stress. Reading calms mental stress. And gratitude soothes emotional stress. You're simply creating the perfect conditions for your body to do what it already knows how to do.
And look, you don't have to do all 7 of these things at once. Please don't. The real power here is just in starting. So the only question left is, looking at this list, which one small step are you going to try tonight?